Now let's go ahead and surf the waves of emotions, anxiousness, and acceptance. Both of these emotions are of low intensity, yet they can slowly drift us away from our base or our center. Waves of acceptance illustrate a predictable rhythm that guarantees motion. However, the waves of anxiousness lack any prediction and only guarantee disturbance. Waves of acceptance allow room for change and movement. However, waves of anxiousness interrupt the ability to understand the movement. The journey of knowing our inner self and blooming our inner world does rely on the subtle nature of acceptance. The rhythmic, guaranteed motion towards change comes from surfing waves of acceptance, and so does inviting and allowing change. The effort to meet our inner self relies on accepting and encouraging the elements of change. However, the redirection of this subtle intensity towards waves of anxiousness lacks prediction and a capability to understand change. The deterrence and halt waves of anxiousness creates stagnates one from meeting their inner self. The best example that I can think of an individual whose life story best embodies the pair of anxiousness and acceptance is the life story of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is best known as a professional boxer and a champion of various titles, and is an influencer today of his own right. Due to his difficult upbringing, Mike Tyson has expressed in various interviews that his desire to chase titles and constantly hold on to championships caused him to behave erratically and selfishly. While surfing waves of anxiousness, Mike Tyson saw his life as a series of championships where he was constantly fighting to be a champion. And this perspective spilled over to his relationship with his spouse and even to his higher self. However, after a couple of life events, including losing his daughter, Mike Tyson redirected his intensity from waves of anxiousness towards waves of acceptance. Mike Tyson is open about his spiritual awakening and expresses his ability to welcome change. He recognizes his purpose includes being more than a boxer. It includes being a leader, a mentor, and an individual who's simply working on being a human being. I hope through Mike Tyson's story you can see that even subtle emotions can define the grand themes of our lives. Want more of Preach with Prak? How about you go ahead and subscribe to our Rise and Shine to Your Purpose newsletter, available only on preachwithprak.com. Here I'll provide you a weekly message to guide you throughout the week and check in with you with a wellness questionnaire. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to Rise and Shine to Your Purpose newsletter, available only on preachwithprak.com.
Finding our purpose is like finding a root on the ground. Initially, you are unable to tell what that root is meant to do. But when you give it the opportunity to grow, to bloom, when you give it the time, care, and attention, you will see what that root is meant to be all along.